Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful co-host Judy Loge is here today. Hello everyone.
Hello everybody,
Judy.
and Happy New Year.
Yes.
And to our viewers, Happy New Year.
Yes, we've been back after a nice little break over the holidays, so
Yes.
this is the first time we're getting to see each other since then.
That's right.
And so how have you been? What have you
I've
been
been
up to?
really busy, and
Yes.
I had a wonderful Christmas season and a beautiful start to the new year with friends and family and people being home from away and
That
just
was nice.
having grand times. And so I had a wonderful time with everybody, and now it's back to trees away, house is cleaned up, everything's back to normal, and
I'm
good.
95% there. I've got two of my trees down. I've got one more to go.
Wow.
It's my favorite pretty one. It's like a winter tree. It's not necessarily a Christmas
that's
tree.
fine.
So I've left it up, though my husband has made me stop turning it on.
Don't turn it on now. No.
But it's all white lights. I just love it. So the boxes are all there, ready to pack it away.
Yeah.
I just need the motivation to do so. But
You will do
I'm
it.
the same as you. Family and friends over the holidays.
Food,
though it was very
food.
busy. A lot of food. I was very lucky this Christmas going in with all my health issues before. I was actually in a deficit this Christmas and was allowed to eat what I wanted.
Good, and you look great too.
Thank you. I'm starting to feel a
You
lot
look
better.
really good.
Getting my energy back
Yes.
and things like that. So it's all good.
It's
now
a
to
new
get
year,
back to
Audrey.
the grind. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
2018,
that's
ready to
right.
get it on. You have our thought of the day. So
The
we're gonna
thought
start
of
with
the
that.
day that I chose was, instead of thinking about what you're missing, try thinking about what you have that everyone else is missing. Okay?
That's true.
Any thoughts on that?
That's true. Exactly. I thought you were going with that old adage, count your blessings.
Well-
you know what I mean, as far as that goes. But I like the very last part of that.
Yes.
What you have that someone else might be missing.
Exactly. So,
Right?
I think, okay, let's just talk about external. Your eyesight.
Yes.
I'm so blessed
No.
at my eyesight, and then there's those
Yeah.
people that are blind. So, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
They wish they had their
exactly.
sight. Other people, they wish for more money. They wish for children that they can't have. They wish, I'm just blessed to have my children.
Exactly.
And so I should say, I was able to have them, as opposed to people that can't have them and want them. So there's so much in that
So
that you could
much to
take
be
from.
thankful for.
Be thankful for what you have.
Exactly. That's just it, because it's all those other little things that we do have that other people may not. Like
So-
you said, health in many different ways.
Yep. So-
right? A job, a home,
Totally.
children,
Totally.
family,
Safety.
all of
yes.
that.
Yes. So
All
think
of
about
those
what
things.
you're missing and
Yeah.
try and instead of thinking about what you're missing, try thinking about what you have that everyone else is missing. That
Exactly.
they would love to have.
Beautiful. I love
Okay,
it.
thank
I
you.
love it.
Good.
Very much. Other things that happened here in Miramichi over the holidays, there was a tribute for Mr. Lloyd Cameron.
Lloyd
that
Cameron.
You attended.
Yes.
How was it?
It was beautiful. And
What exactly happened? What was it?
Lloyd Cameron, they called him Mr. C. That was the
Right.
affectionate name they had him
Okay.
down with. And so Candace Curtis and Patty Quinn, Mayor Adam Lorden, Joey Dignam, and Sarah Gillis all decided, because they were very close to Lloyd, whether it be on the musical side, as Candace was,
Right.
helping him produce
Right.
various productions at James M. Hill. She, for example, said, wouldn't it be a great idea to have a tribute to Mr. Cameron, who passed away tragically in October? And so they came on board. And what impressed me so much was that everybody's so busy and into themselves and their family and their hectic schedule at Christmas season that they held this tribute at James M. Hill on December 28th.
Yes.
Yes,
that's
and
right,
so
too.
the question was, will people, even though they loved Lloyd, who was a teacher, a mentor, he created Double L Productions Theater Company. He was a vibrant, colorful, amazing person in our community. The question was, the first thing I thought is, will people be able
anybody
to go
go?
in the middle
That's
of
right.
Christmas and New Year's?
In all that hustle and bustle, because it's
Exactly.
crazy busy,
And to just say to what people's characters are, truly, they went in abundance. So they
that's
raised
fantastic.
$3,000
Wow.
for him
Oh, you're
as
kidding.
in a scholarship in his name. And
That's
it was a
fantastic.
goodwill offering.
Okay.
So, some people might have given 5, some people gave
Yeah.
whatever the amount
Yeah.
was.
'Cause
They
it's
were there to
Christmas
honor
time,
him.
right? It's
Yeah.
things are tight.
So they had former students come from all over Canada. My sister included she was home, but she did a tribute from the Grease production that Lloyd produced when Jennifer was only 15 years old. So she sang Hopelessly Devoted to You, which was beautiful. And I got to do a monologue from Love, Loss, and What I Wore that we produced in 2013. Colton Curtis was home from where he's in Stratford.
I think so,
Yes,
Ontario.
yes, and he sang, and then they did like pieces from all of his musicals over the past, and various people such as John Bosma paid tribute to Lloyd's character and how much he meant to him, and Susan Butler did the same, and so it was a beautiful evening.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Always so much going on here in our community in Miramichi, and we just love how people support everyone else and each other, and it just goes over so well.
Yeah.
It really does.
It was a lovely...
We're going to switch gears and talk a little bit about international news there now. In Hawaii over the weekend, I just want to make note, I did sit down for that newscast, and I am actually so shocked that this actually happened over the weekend in Hawaii. They actually received a threat via the internet and over the television of an imminent threat of a ballistic missile coming in, and that there was only minutes or moments to prepare and to get to safety.
And who's prepared for that, really? I mean, you might be prepared for, other disasters, water disasters, natural disasters, flooding and hurricanes and all of that.
Exactly. But we want to mention that it turned out that it was a mistake. It was not a real threat. And that someone clicked the wrong thing on the computer when there was the shift change, which apparently happens 3 times a day, where they switch over. And just from a simple little click of the mouse on the computer, that this mistake was made. And this threat ran, or this notification or warning ran for 38 minutes.
Can you imagine? 8 minutes would be bad enough, but 38, you'd be in such a panic at that point.
No, exactly.
And
That's
so the people had to find places
to go. They were running. There's
There's
video of people running, seeking shelter, people trying to find like underground basements, everything. Actor Jim Carrey was actually in Hawaii at the time, and I read his tweet about waking up and believing he only had 10 minutes to live.
That's scary. I'm normally in Hawaii at that time of year. We usually are. We just didn't this year because Evan was home, and we just didn't do anything.
You didn't bother.
We didn't travel that way.
Exactly.
But we're normally there, and I think I would have been almost having a heart attack.
Well, I mean, with things so volatile with North Korea at the moment, and with Trump's always antagonizing him and getting everybody in an uproar over that, how could you not think that this was a real threat?
Exactly.
Right? That it wasn't a joke or a mistake. Even when you were told it wasn't real, would you believe that?
So the man that did the glitch, was he reassigned? He should have been let go.
He's been reassigned.
He should have been let go.
He's been reassigned.
That was a major faux pas. Major.
Yes. But my question is, if it's so easy to just click the wrong thing on the computer to send out that warning, how easy is it to click the wrong thing to send a retaliation? Like, I have to be thankful, I believe, that Trump didn't get this warning the minute it came out, because he would have had 38 minutes to actually do something even more stupid.
Like I said, he was probably combing his hair, Audrey.
No, but I believe he was only informed at the tail end of it, so he didn't really have time to process maybe and make a very rash decision in retaliation. That's my... And what if North Korea heard about our warning, and then they were like, oh, if they think that's real, we better get ready because they're going to...
Total disaster.
I'm just in awe of the whole thing. I really am.
I am too, and
scared.
I think the guy was...
No.
He should be in deep trouble over that one.
Exactly. We'll be watching the news and following all of that very, very closely, I'm afraid, because we're neighbors.
Yes, and I was out of town yesterday, missed all of that.
Yes,
so
you did.
That's very interesting.
But did you miss the Golden Globes?
I saw a lot of the Golden Globe Awards.
You did,
and Seth Meyers, of course, was the host.
He actually did really well.
He did really well.
Despite all the tension that he was going to have to deal with.
Yes. He did target those men, those particular men, as far as Harvey Weinstein and Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And he went after Kevin Spacey.
Okay, so I missed those specific things. So fill me in.
Well, just that he poked fun at them, brought their name up, he alluded to the fact that they have been, sexually wrong, and that they've been sexually misconducted, all of this stuff. Okay, I believe totally that they did the wrong thing, that they did perverted things, that they should be charged for what they did if it's all true. I believe that they're bad guys if they did any of that. My problem, and you're gonna maybe laugh at me, is that Harvey Weinstein I have no respect for after what he's done, and his wife left him, and yada yada.
Okay.
If Harvey Weinstein happened to be my brother, I am going to still love that man probably regardless. So to me, when you poke fun at somebody nationally, no matter what kind of monster
venue you
they
have
are,
the issue, right?
He has children. And Kevin Spacey has a mother that could have been watching that show.
Right.
And it paints them as they should be as bad guys because they did terrible things.
Right.
However, there's still people out there that care about them, whether they raised them
There's
or
somebody's mother, there's somebody's father,
or a
there's
close
somebody's
friend or
uncle,
close friend.
So
I don't kind of like that
for
when
him
they
to
go
use
there.
that big venue and use it to actually do that. But
Yeah.
you have to remember, he's in a room full of the women that was an issue
Oh,
that would
I
have
know
been
that.
his accusers. So the part of what his speech or the different things that he said that I was totally okay with was when he first came on the show and he welcomed everybody, welcome ladies and the gentlemen who are left.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But
and I was like, I was okay with that. I did not hear the part where they actually
dissed on.
I'd have to say the same thing.
I know they should be dissed on. They did terrible things by using power.
I wouldn't give them the what's the word? Yeah, I wouldn't give them the time of day to mention their name again.
Exactly.
I really wouldn't.
And you know what people overlook too is the fact, okay, the men all wore times up pins.
Right.
They wore black shirts under their black tuxedos or their black suits. The women, except for 3 women, wore black in solidarity to show that they will not put up with sexual harassment or assault anymore. Okay.
Perfect way to do that.
The thing is, here I'm going to be the devil's advocate again.
Okay.
Do they not realize, these people in the audience, that that men are sexually assaulted on a daily basis as well? In the military, a study was done not that long ago that says in the military, the U.S. military, 10,800 men are assaulted on a yearly basis by women. 8,000 women are assaulted by men. Let me see, it's 39% of the women file a complaint, and 13% of the men sexually assaulted file a complaint. Because it's the thought that I'm a man. People will think if I report that she beat me over the head with a pan or pushed me down the stairs,
when it comes to the men,
that I'm not a real man, that I'm not tough enough.
Unfortunately, exactly.
But okay, and the other thing is when you're in the audience at an Oscar award or something, okay, say I'm sitting there with my actor husband. We don't know what that person may have done too. Like, do you know what I'm saying? James Franco was on the news the next night.
Silentness there. So, well, I'll have to go with you saying everything that you're saying right there now, with your point of view. What did you think of Oprah's speech?
Oprah's speech was over the top wonderful.
Okay.
I mean, I admire her anyway. I think she said it all. I think she said it all.
I feel like she did too, and she said it with the right amount of poise and the right amount of aggressiveness, and to all women, but then she included the men as men as well, who are standing up for women.
That's right. That was very important.
But what about all the tweeting that came afterwards about her running for president?
There's a lot of people. Okay, so first of all, Reese Witherspoon.
I might have opened a can of worms here.
No. Reese Witherspoon addressed. She introduced her.
Right.
And she's been with her doing movies on her network and all of that, and she adores Oprah. She said, everybody loves Oprah. I'm sorry, I love Oprah. Not everybody does love Oprah.
No.
Okay, not everybody loves everybody. There are people that are going to like me. There are people that aren't going to like me. It's what it is. Nobody can like everybody. So
I would have to say there's a lot of men who really don't care for her.
No, and I do think she's
strongly
brilliant.
Opinionated.
Very much so.
You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
I think she'd get in there.
There's been pictures of her and Weinstein as being best friends and, you know, socializing outside the...
Yeah.
I mean, and if that was the case and you truly were against what he did, in your heart, you wouldn't stand next to him and get your picture taken with him.
How long ago was that? Was that before he came out as the predator, as the sexual harasser?
Yeah, those photos would have been before.
Okay.
That was my impression. I could be mistaken, but
I hope so.
That's just it. All those pictures are coming up of all these movie stars that are now his accusers or haters.
Yeah.
But they all had pictures with him along the way.
Sure,
but he was in a line of work of authority in the sense
of
control and power. Sure.
Big time.
Exactly. That's just it.
But there aren't going to be very many men left. I mean, men I feel sorry for in a way right now because there are the good men, okay?
I do.
And it's going to be to the point pretty soon that if a man says, my goodness, you look lovely, Audrey, it's going to be taken as a sexual innuendo because lovely could mean sexy or I want you or look at your body. I don't like it.
I'd have to agree that there's flirting that comes from both sexes.
Totally.
And it's part of the courting and it's a part of the...
Yeah.
The thing I have a problem with Weinstein is he was in a position of authority, whereas and you do this to get that part of...
Oh, no, he was all wrong.
To get a part in my play or to get a job.
Totally
That's
wrong.
not okay, for sure.
And he was not he wasn't drunk.
No. And if you're making a work environment uncomfortable sexually.
He did a terrible
you know,
thing.
with Matt Lauer. I'm going
Yep,
to bring his
Matt
name
Lauer.
up. If he was just always going on and being over the top,
Then
and
they deserve
whatever.
what they get.
Yes.
But if a
I do.
man, okay, like I have a habit of just saying, it could be a guy, like it could be my neighbor.
Right.
And I mean absolutely zero by it, but I'll say, oh hi, I'll use a different name. Oh hi Bob, and I'll lay my hand on his
I'm
arm.
a touchy person
It means
too.
absolutely nothing. But
No.
now all of a sudden, if a man does that to me, am I going to say he was so near my chest area that
Yeah.
he touched me on the arm, that he was close to my breast?
Yeah.
It's like getting to the point where men are going to be terrified to even speak.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is, if you've ever been in that position where you have like spidey sense of tingling kind of thing
Yeah.
or whatever, or that it feels, then it probably is.
Well, okay. I've had men do things that weren't, okay, I've had men
Yep.
do inappropriate things. I've had men do such as little as touch near my backside too
Right?
low.
Yeah.
Am I going to run to the police and say he charged
No.
me with sexual
No, no,
assault
no.
because because he didn't rape me and
No.
he didn't? And I know the person, and I'm not going to ruin their
But
lives.
it depends on the environment.
It
Is it a
totally-
work environment?
Or is it
and
passing
whether
by?
or not you've asked him not to do that and he continues.
Oh,
Like,
no, that's
there's
right.
so many factors.
Right. But if
that
you're going to
go.
ruin a family and a man's business
Yeah.
because he touched you
Yeah.
like a little quick, like I don't touch
Yeah.
about the butt. I'm talking
No.
about like the backside.
lower back, I
Or
know what you mean.
whatever.
Yeah.
Are you going to run and squeal on them, or are you going to just say, don't ever
is.
do
It's
that
gonna be
again and
hard.
move on?
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah.
It really is. We have a great show lined
Yeah,
up
we do.
today. We've been rambling, but we do. We have a Karen Clark's joining us.
Yes.
She's going to be up next, and then we
Great.
have some girls from NBCC that are going to be joining us in the last segment
wonderful.
of the show.
Yeah.
So you're not going to want to miss that. Hopefully we're going to get a chance to talk about cyberbullying, but we didn't touch on it today. We might have to save that for another show.
Okay, sure.
But we want to let our viewers know. Maybe you can make some comments on our Facebook page. What your thoughts are on cyberbullying right now? With if you have young kids, if you're experiencing it, how you're handling it. We'd love to be able to hear from you on those thoughts and those ideas, because we'd love to bring it up in our quick chat portion of the show someday.
We're going to do it, I think, Monday, because there's some issues
Yes.
going on right now that
Yeah,
I
that
think
we definitely
it
have
would be
to-
timely.
No, exactly. That's just it. So, yes, we're going to bring Karen Clark up on the show. We're going to take a short little break. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Have a Chat.
Come on over, Karen.
Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with Judy Loge, and joining us up next we have Karen Clark. Hello,
Welcome.
Karen. How are you?
Hi.
Nice to see
I'm
you.
Great. Thank you for inviting me to the show.
Great.
Yes,
Right.
well, thanks for coming. Now, you're a professional early childhood educator.
Yes.
But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
I'm from the Miramichi.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the country in Bartybogue Bridge.
Mm.
And I'm one of 5 children. I went to school on the Miramichi Valley High School.
Okay, that's okay.
Side of
We'll
the
still
river.
keep you on the show.
Still keep me on the show.
That's why she sounds a little apprehensive about telling us that, but that's okay.
My husband, Alvin, and I went to school actually together since grade 1.
Imagine, and you got married
And
after all those years?
yes, in grade 12 we went to the prom together, and we've been together ever since.
That's a pretty amazing story. So
Yeah.
6 years old when you met your husband
Yes.
and stayed with him.
And in grade 5 there's a picture of us on the steps of the old Rankin House School.
Wow.
And Alvin is actually standing right behind my right shoulder on the next step up.
That's a
Now,
story
is
in
that
itself.
something?
That's a
That's
true
quite
love
something.
story. That
Yes.
could be a book.
Yes.
Right.
So I knew from a very young age I wanted to work with children.
Okay.
My first goal was to go to university and become a teacher.
All right.
So that's
And
where you started.
That's where I started.
Okay.
And just due to circumstances of things that happened in my personal life, I only went to university for 1 year.
Oh,
Happens.
Sugar. Okay.
And then in 1984, I was hired to work or sorry, 82. I was
Okay.
hired to work in a daycare center. And
Nice.
from there, I knew exactly my career was set. Working with children is
And those are
a
young
gift in
children.
itself.
You're talking like that's
two-year-olds to 12-year-olds.
okay.
And some people could never do that at all because they're not comfortable around children
No.
who do have, you know, children needs. They cry, they complain, they're beautiful in all aspects, but they have those tantrums, and you have to be special to do that.
It does take a lot, but it's within you to be able to do that. It is really. I'm as excited today to work with children as I was 34 years ago.
Well, that's something.
That
you
is,
know,
that's a
testimony.
passion. That's a
Yes.
passion in your field of work that you don't see in all professions.
It dies out after,
unfortunately.
like you're
It
teaching, for
does.
example, you could say, I love it, but
Yeah.
after 35 years,
Yeah.
I've had enough.
No, exactly.
Like there have been hurdles, you know. I worked
Okay,
in
sure.
60 space centers from 1982 until 2004. Most of those years I was director, so I'd be responsible for the running of the whole center. Then I decided I needed to change.
Yeah, we all need change.
So I can't.
So how
when-
many years were you in the daycare field?
I'm a total of 34 years.
Wow.
Incredible, Karen.
Wow.
Congratulations
But, you know,
on that.
I feel so young, and I know that's because I've been working and hanging out so much.
That's
With
what
the
they
young
say.
people.
That's what they say
You
about
know?
working with
Yes.
children. and
It's
being
probably
around.
in the last 5 years I feel like an adult.
If you were
And
to
it's
see
not a good
yourself-
feeling.
No, that's good to stay young
Time
and
to
feel young.
adult.
Yes. So
So then what happened?
So when I moved home, I opened up an early education program for children 2 to 5.
Okay.
And at that time, UNB was developing the curriculum for the province of New Brunswick. So I was very blessed, the children and I, to be a part of that.
Yes, you were.
Because this was not something that was
just to
a
do
thing
with my
before,
everyday. No.
right?
So I was able to do a lot of photography and videotaping, participating in training through the university, and actually being able to give training as well. And I could not have asked, you know, for a better 10 years, those years that I had the preschool at home.
Good experience all the way.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer that outdoors is the best place
To
for
learn
children to
and
be.
for children.
I live in the perfect place to be outdoors
Okay.
with children. I live just below Middle Island. So we have the trails, we have the beach. Our backyard is designed just for the children.
It's lovely. Perfect setting.
And they play a big part in how things are set up. The children lead in their learning, and I help to guide. And I learn a lot from the children.
And you're very active in the circle of, for example, if you're doing an activity that's a sports activity,
Oh,
you get right
absolutely.
in there and you do it with them, right?
Well, I had, with my school-age children, last week, I bought goalie pads and blockers
Okay.
and nets. So one little guy thought, well, we need a second set of goalie pads and blockers. So I thought, well, I try to teach them that it costs money,
yes.
and, you know, we need to really evaluate what we buy and how much we spend. So I said to this little guy, well, how about if you bring in a little bit of your allowance, you know, and everyone shares in the expense of buying the second set? And he looks at me really serious and he says, well, Karen, I'm actually saving up for something. And I thought, well, that's good. And I'm like, well, I'm saving up for something too.
Good for you.
And he asked me, what are you saving up for? And I'm like, I'm trying to save up for my retirement. And then this other little guy pipes in and he says, Karen, you're already retired.
They don't think, they
do-
think it's playtime only. They don't see it as a profession.
They do not see me as
working.
As a
No.
professional educator. Oh,
It's-
okay.
You're
it's
having way
Interesting.
too much fun to be
Well, I am.
retired.
And I do. I play ball with them. I play
Oh,
hockey
good for
with
you.
them. We have bonfires.
Active.
We slide.
So this goes beyond
Oh.
babysitting.
Oh,
Right?
that's what they
the days
think.
when
Well,
you had someone babysit for your children. There's an actual program. You actually have structured things
yes.
elements that you're teaching them and showing them.
Absolutely.
Tell us a
I
little
do
bit.
still, I'm called a babysitter still by
okay.
different individuals. And
Okay.
I think we're trying very hard in our field to educate the public and society to,
Okay.
you know, what we actually do. Like, we're licensed under the Department of Education
Okay.
and Early Childhood Development.
Right.
And we have to follow
Their guides.
very strict
Their
guidelines,
guidelines, okay.
and all their policies and procedures.
Yes.
We have a lot of paperwork, you know, that goes with it. We have to have specific insurance.
For sure.
We are inspected at least twice a year, and then spot checks through the Department of Education and Early Childhood Development
Yeah.
Coordinator. Like, my insurance alone, it's not a money-making business. It's
No.
really not.
No.
And even though I'm private, you know, they look at private and nonprofit differently.
Right.
There's really, myself, I've never been in it to really make money.
No, you're in it for the love of it.
I'm in it for the love of it. A few of the experiences that I would like to share.
Yes.
When Miramichi was raising money for Haiti,
Yes.
Yes.
I had a little girl, her name's Avery, and she was 4 at the time. And she said, "Karen, I want to write a song."
Wow.
We were going to sing and participate. And I said, "Well, what would you like to name your song?" And she said, I would like to name it "I Wish."
This is a fundraiser for Haiti.
For Haiti.
For money to
That was in
Haiti.
our
that
community.
was happening
Lovely.
at the time.
Yes.
And she wanted to write a song
Yes.
and call it I Wish.
Yes.
4 years
Okay.
old.
Yes. So I
So-
said, you just talk to me and tell me. So I wrote exactly what she said. We had to go. We met at Tim Hortons to finish it off and write some music
Sweet.
to it, like I would an adult. I believe in great respect for children.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You know, and we presented this song when all of the children sang at the fundraiser.
So you put the music to the words.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yes, yes.
And
So that's I've had many beautiful, deep experiences.
Yeah.
You know, over the years with children, like family crisis, like all
Well, I was
kinds of
going to say, you'd
things.
probably experience some sad things
Absolutely.
as well.
Oh,
you
for
know
sure.
what I
They
mean?
all go
With
through lots
children
of
coming
hardships.
from different walks
Absolutely.
of life and different things like that. How do you personally cope with everything you see out there that maybe, you know, would be a little more heartening?
Well, sometimes there was one particular incident where I needed to go and have some counseling.
Okay.
And that would have surrounded the tragedy in our community with the 3 men who were in the accident on the Bathurst Highway.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
I had 2 of those families, and my goal was to help those children
Yes.
and their families to walk as closely together as a unit as we
Yeah.
could.
But you had those children in your care at
Yes.
the time.
Yes.
That's so traumatic for those children that you're their other parent while their actual parents are trying to cope with such a huge tragedy.
I was grateful to have them, though, because my commitment is not only to the child, it's to the whole family.
Family.
As a whole, yeah.
You're almost like extended family.
Yes.
You really are.
Well, I still have a lot of my clients in my life personally.
Yes.
You know, and some
Beautiful.
great
Yeah.
friends. We started out, my first year of graduation for the preschoolers was a limousine to Pizza Delight.
Oh my.
Oh,
And
I
just
think
small.
I remember seeing pictures, or I feel like I seen a video
Beautiful.
maybe.
Okay. And it was a celebration about
Yeah.
them, nothing that they had to perform. It was about them. So I did that 2 years, and the parents caught on, and they wanted to be a part of it. So then we started inviting the parents to the Pizza Delight, and then I ended up having to rent a hall.
Traditional
Oh, for
became a
goodness
really
sakes.
big thing.
It did huge, like around 100 people. Then we started meeting at Christmas.
Aw.
I had a client in the beginning that held their party in their home for our Christmas party.
Right.
It's so different. It's just so personal.
It is so much more.
You know?
So that's exactly right. People have to stop assuming that you're offering a babysitting
Oh.
services, that you're a licensed child educator, and you have this wealth of background in education
and training and continuous training.
and how lucky those parents are to have those children in your care.
I had a little one last week. She goes, you know, you're that early childhood care person. And she looks at me and she goes, I better not call you that babysitter word.
Yeah,
like, we
cute.
joke about it and
Right.
we
Yeah.
have fun about it.
Yes.
But it's so important, you know, for the community to understand exactly what goes on behind the scenes, aside from working hands-on with the
Well,
children.
because
There's so
currently you
much.
have Clark's After School Adventures.
I do, and that's school-age
So what is
children.
that? That's the school age kids.
I was
Okay, so
working
what
10-hour
happens there?
days with preschool, and
Okay.
after that number of years and the amount of responsibilities, I just felt I just couldn't physically keep
Okay.
up with that pace.
Huge demand.
So a
It
good friend
is.
of mine recommended that do after school, Karen, like just do after school.
Yes.
I work 4-hour days, so
Okay.
I start my day at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I have the same 9 children as last year. They know the routine. They lead me. They guide
Okay.
me as to what
What comes
they
next,
want to
what
do,
do and what
and
comes next.
a lot of our activities are outside.
Good.
Sliding, we have bonfires,
Skating
we
probably,
snowshoe. We don't get to skate. Transportation is a real difficult barrier
Yeah.
for
And
us.
maintaining an
Yeah.
outdoor rink would be
There's
as
a
well.
lot of
It
rules
is.
and regulations to transporting other people's
Oh,
children
absolutely.
and stuff like
and
that.
we
if I'm not
talked about a
mistaken.
rink, but my husband's like,
He ended up to flood it.
Something he'd have to look after.
He's going to
You
be
know,
the caretaker for it.
and he has so many responsibilities in all of this as well,
Oh,
like
that's
maintenance,
okay.
and he plays a very big
Keeping
role
everything
in my
up
success.
to par, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So when you get kids, okay, say you're a parent and you have, like, as we do, a family, and they're all in their little squabbles and that.
Yes.
You have to know certain procedures that you can do, like how to handle them without being, do you know
When
what I'm
they're not
saying?
getting
When
along
they're
or- Oh,
fighting,
absolutely,
and you have to
absolutely.
sit them down, and so it's not just all roses, right? There are days
Oh,
when they
it's
come
not.
in, they're sad, they're angry, they're in a bad mood,
Yes.
and they want to take it out on the other kid next to them.
Absolutely.
So you see a lot of that, but you know
Oh.
how to handle it because of your experience.
Yes, and I always believe in a respect of each of the children.
Important.
And I need to look at it from their perspective and what might be going on in their life that I'm, not aware of.
Right.
I encourage them to resolve as much of the issue as they can.
Themselves.
Yeah.
And then, if they need space to calm down, they get their space.
That's right.
Then we come together and we just sit and we talk about it. And
That's
it's about
exactly-
respect,
Yeah.
and it's about kindness, and it's about
Working things
know,
out,
absolutely.
compromising, getting back
Yeah.
on the
Absolutely.
straight line again.
Absolutely.
I know,
Yeah.
because I
that's
did that.
just
Youth
it.
care was my background as well.
Yeah.
And there's always two people involved in anything, right? So you have to hear both
Exactly.
stories.
Right.
You
Well,
hear
I've
one-
had 4 children, and what I did was when I had the oldest one, and he went into daycare a day or 2 a week because he was the only child at the time, and I thought, what better way for him to learn to share and play well with
Socialize.
others and socialize. And so when he went to school, and then the next child came along, when they were 2 years old, they went off for a day or
Yes.
2.
Yeah.
I was a stay-at-home mom. They didn't need to go,
No.
but I felt like it was a stepping stone to prepare them for when they did go to school.
Exactly.
And it
The
is.
real world.
You know what I
It is.
mean?
Absolutely.
As
It
opposed
is.
to, and nothing against
It's the
those moms
truth.
who keep them home
No,
the
no.
whole time. There's nothing wrong with that
But I
either.
like
but
your thinking.
I felt that, to me, that was just one advantage they would have, that they had learned some of those routines and were used to that, and that going to school at a much younger age than when we ever went to school.
I know, my boys were
right?
young too.
Kind of thing. And so then that way, that was one less thing that I had to worry about, and that they'd be able to cope a little bit better.
And 0 to 5 are the most important years in a child's
And
development.
yes.
And my hope is for every child to have equal opportunity,
Right.
to participate and to experience and to learn and like build self-confidence and, socially, like
And those little ones-
that's so important.
The little ones look up to the bigger ones after a while
Absolutely.
because you're
Absolutely.
teaching and
They
the
can use
parents
them
are
as
working.
role models.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Role models.
And now, like, there are centers here who take children like right from
Yeah,
0 up.
very,
like
very young.
parents who have their own businesses, and it's quite an operation, and it's so essential.
Does everyone have to follow the same protocol you do, or
Yes.
because you're an early childhood educator, your program is specifically different and designed so?
I follow the same policies and procedures as they do in 60 space centers.
Okay.
I'm not required to follow, because of being home-based and smaller, I'm not
Okay.
required to follow. But I mean, after the amount of years that I worked
Okay.
in 60 space centers, it's just,
Okay.
I follow it.
And you calling them space centers, you're talking daycare,
I'm
correct?
talking
What I
child
would know as-
daycares, yes.
okay.
Yes.
60.
60 spaces in the center.
amazing.
Yes. And I mean, I really need to write a book. One of my
Yeah.
clients, Terry Gadsden, he really wants me to publish photographs that I've taken over the years. So I would really like to do that as well.
On your bucket list.
Okay.
And I do have to send a shout out to Ivory and Nell.
Ivory and Nell,
They
love
were at
them.
my home for supper last night, and Ivory said that she wants me to tell people in the community that they are the littest people on the planet.
The what?
So there you go. They're lit. They're lit. And are
On fire. On fire.
And Paula said last night, Ivory, it's more lit. Is correct. She said, no, we say it. We're the lit.
That's why I had to ask you what you say.
So
But do that book. But you know
I've
what?
done that.
If Terry Gadsden, who I
Yes.
totally admire, who's done
Yes.
their show and who's so amazing and brilliant, etc.,
Yes.
says to do it, I would take it from him to do it because he's a very wise man.
And he's been after me for years.
And he's got a lot of background and all that stuff,
Oh,
writing
absolutely.
and filmmaking, and then you could get the kids to illustrate it.
Absolutely.
You know what? You could do a book and have a page for one, like your students,
Yes.
the 9 of them,
Yes.
could do a picture
cover.
that they've done.
absolutely.
Or I think go for it.
And I think too that it would be nice to have some children on the program who have experienced what it was like to be in a home base.
Totally.
I think that would be a really good topic for the show.
Exactly.
As busy
You know,
as you
sometime.
are, start it, Karen. It's a new year. It's
Yes,
2018.
yes,
Get
yes.
your ducks in order and start saying, okay, this is how I would like it to play out, and just start with your
Okay.
thoughts.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much for joining us,
Congratulations
Thank you.
Karen.
on your program.
Definitely.
It's
We'll be
been
back
awesome.
with more Have a Chat
right.
after the break. Don't go away. Welcome back to more Have a Chat. We were just talking to Karen Clark, great guest that we just had on,
Was
talking
great.
about her daycare program, early intervention that she has. Fantastic program. And joining us now we have Amanda, Sylvia, and Sabrina.
Oh, it's Green Day. Are we Irish? Are we all Irish or what?
We're preparing. March is not that far away.
Yeah.
We're actually looking forward
Welcome,
to it.
girls, to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, definitely. So Amanda Bent, we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, really excited to be back here in Miramichi. I'm with NBCC and the coordinator of the Robertson Institute for Community Leadership. And so in my role, I get to work with the students and staff and connecting them to the community with different service projects and non-for-profits to help our students gain the skills and confidence to help them personally and professionally. And grew up with the value of volunteering. My parents introduced me to, you know, Friday nights was pizza night and usually out in the community doing some sort of volunteer work. So
Amazing.
really excited to be able to take that value and that
I
my
love
parents
parents who
introduced.
take that initiative to do that with their
Yes.
kids.
Yeah.
That is, you know, something that is learned at home.
That's right.
That
Yeah.
doesn't-
Say it again, just for the viewers, the
Yeah,
Institute, just to clarify the Roberts, again, the Institute. So
Yeah,
people
so
have,
it's the NBCC Robertson Institute for Community Leadership, and it was introduced in 2014, college-wide,
Okay.
and again built on that tradition at NBCC of community leadership and
Yep.
connecting to community.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Okay, and we have Sylvia, Hannah, and Sabrina Morris joining us as well. Now, you guys are involved in a program. You're the practical nursing program at NBCC.
Yes, we are.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Sylvia.
Okay, well, I'm from Miramichi. I'm married. I have 2 kids, a girl and boy. So volunteer has always been part of my life, like ever since I was a little girl.
Great.
That's
Right.
something I remember going around and just donating to whatever cause I could. And
Okay.
I always wanted to be a nurse too, ever since I was a little girl.
Fulfilling your dream.
Fulfilling my dream. And so when we had this opportunity handed to us, I just thought
Jumped
it was
right in.
amazing.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, and Sabrina?
Hi, so I've been living here all my life. I was born and raised here in Miramichi. I'm a single mom with 2 boys.
Busy girl.
Yeah, and so yeah, when the opportunity came up, I just didn't want to pass it by. I see it on TV all the time, you know, those people in those countries and stuff, and I've always
It's always been in
wanted
the
to-
back of your mind.
always wanted to
if
go
there's
there.
something you could do.
and see it for yourself, you know, like, and just how they live and how they.
So tell us all about this whole
program. What's coming
Program.
up?
Yeah.
What's going on?
project.
So through the Robertson Institute, you know, we do a lot of different activities like our service days, which is really big here in Miramichi, where, you know, it's a sea of green, where our students and staff are out connecting with a lot of the community partners. And you know, we're doing some additional programs for students if they want to kind of take a deeper dive into the importance of volunteering and helping students kind of make that intentional plan for their communities. But we also wanted to connect and provide opportunities for our students to travel international. So we're really excited. We're partnering with Me to We, or We Charity. So we'll be going to Kenya in March. And
coming right up.
It's coming right up, yeah. And we're really excited to be partnering with We Charity because they've got over 20 years of experience.
So that has to do with We Day? I know my kids have
Right.
gone and participated with We Day. So
Yeah.
that's the same organization?
So it's the same
Okay.
organization. It's
Okay.
international. It's founded by 2 Canadians here, Mark and Craig Hilberger. And we have a lot of We schools here across
Yes.
the province in Atlantic Canada. And you know, We works with you know, educators on the We programs at the local high school, so that our children are learning those values of volunteering and giving back. 'Cause, you know, if families, if it doesn't come naturally in a family makeup, right? That there's that opportunity in the schools, and
That's
then you know, to go to We Day, you have to, you know, you can't pay for your ticket. It's all on
No, it's
volunteer
through
hours.
volunteering all along
That's
and
right.
raising money that they get to go and participate in that.
Yeah,
correct?
and it's awesome. Like to, you know, in Atlantic Canada, it's in Halifax, and
Yeah. My
you
son
know,
participated.
I
one
know
year.
he does.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
so that's, you know, that's locally what the We Charity does, and then again the international piece is the, you know, the Me to We trips, which is what we're going to
What
have the
the
opportunity.
girls are involved in.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how do you get to go to Kenya? Like, who is it you're in contact with to create this trip to go there and specifically help with what areas in Kenya?
Yeah, so we're working directly with We Charity and Me to We.
Okay.
So we've got a team there that's helping us with the coordination and kind of coaching us through
Okay.
this, because this is new for us. We've never
Okay.
done this before.
Exciting.
And it's our first time at NBCC doing this international trip. We have 9 students college-wide that are joining us.
I was just
so-
gonna
That
ask
was
you the
gonna be my
number.
next question.
Yeah.
Like, is it just the
Who
three
gets
of
to
you?
go?
yeah.
And we'll hitch a ride.
Yeah, sure, join. Yeah, we'd love that. And Serena and Sylvia are the 2 students from here at the Miramichi campus
Okay.
that joined us. And college-wide, we had like over 120 students kind of reach out for information. But there's a big fundraising component. There's a
I was
big
gonna say, how do you
time
get picked to
component.
go? How did you just get
Yeah.
picked to go?
Anybody could go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we came back from lunch one day, and I had talked about it a couple days before, saying I would really love to do this, something like this. And 3 days later, we come in, sitting on our desk was an information card, and it said for a $250 registration, in addition to fundraising,
Right.
you could
Be on the list.
be on the list, and you can go.
And it was so weird because we were just talking about it 3 days prior, and it was like,
There it
Oh,
is.
for goodness sakes. And
Yeah.
how long will you be gone for?
So the trip is a 12-day trip
Okay.
that we'll be traveling. We're going to the Masai Mara, which is a region in Kenya. So we'll fly into Nairobi and spend the first night just outside of the city there, and then take the 5-hour ride out to the
I was going to say,
to
take a
Mara.
day to get there, right?
It's a-
Like,
it's a huge
geographically, I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out, but
Yeah.
that's a long flight, a long day.
It's significant travel,
Okay.
but
But after you take that little time to recover, you're fine. You
Yeah,
know, it's
that's
just
right.
that you can get through being tired.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to be so exciting
Yeah.
once you land and meet new
yes.
people, and you're there for that purpose, is to connect with those people, and it's going to be a trip of a lifetime.
Yes.
Is there something specific that you're going to be doing for the community over there, whether it's digging wells or build or help? Is there anything
mission.
specific? Your mission.
So we're
yeah.
going to help build a school. We're going to go out into the clinics and see how they operate,
Okay,
which
yes.
for us is
Yes,
That's-
the nursing program
can't
that
wait
would
for that
be.
part.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you're most interested in, Sabrina, is
Yeah.
going to see
Exactly.
what their medical needs
medical
are, and there are
needs.
so many medical
and
needs.
seeing
And how they're done with the limited resources
Yeah.
they would have,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
How
exactly.
things are done. That would be a big eye opener, I would think, down there.
And we're also going to help the mothers and families in the community collect water and help bring
Oh.
it back. So I believe watching the videos that we've seen, it's 50 pounds
You're
of
gonna be
water.
working.
Yeah, we're not going to be
You're not just
there.
you're not just
No.
tourists there
No,
looking
it's
around.
not a
You're gonna be
vacation.
hands
No.
in.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at the both of them going,
Yeah.
bring sunblock.
Yeah.
yes.
They're very fair-skinned
Yeah.
girls.
And so your sleeping quarters is not. I kind of picture
A
this.
tent.
Exactly. I was just going to say I don't tent,
Okay.
so
On
it'll be a new
cots.
thing for me.
Yes.
And the heat will be something else too. I'm assuming that.
Actually,
Is
it
it
runs
winter
between
there?
10 and 27 degrees.
Oh,
Very
wow.
similar.
I
I
think
think the
that's-
nights
yeah.
are very cool, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
you're
The
exactly
days
right.
can get very hot, but the nights can get very cool.
27's really nice,
Yeah,
though.
we
Yeah.
are going during the rainy season, but
Yeah.
I think we'll
okay.
be all right. But
Right.
but you're right. As soon as the sun goes down, the evenings get cool, so that's when the sweaters will come out and
Yeah.
get warmed up.
Exactly.
So
Anything else you want to tell us about all of this that the viewers might be interested in for the future, like to get them involved, to help with some fundraising ideas
Yeah.
that you need them for? What would you like to tell our viewers about?
So I'll turn this over to Sabrina
Okay.
and Sylvia to really talk about, because I know they've got a lot of different fundraisers
Sure.
coming up, and
Okay.
can share that information.
So first off, the very first thing we have on the go and ongoing, every second weekend we've been out collecting bottles from people who say, you know, hey, I got some, just come and get them. We've been piling them into her car.
Okay, that's good to know.
What do you drive?
That's five.
Yeah.
Probably a little over the
Okay.
limit in cars, bottles
Yeah.
in cars.
I'll have
but-
to get some bottles to you for sure. I collect them too for
So
people.
Okay.
we do that, but on the 27th of this month, we have we're going to do a bottle drive. So we have that planned for that Saturday.
Yeah, so bottles can be dropped off at Doran's Bottle Exchange.
Doran's is in Newcastle.
Yes.
Doran's Bottle
Yep.
Exchange.
But we
And
will
you just
also
tell them it's for this particular.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
they have a trailer that's set up just specifically for us.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
day.
okay.
I'll throw
So
some
if
in.
it said help Sylvia and Sabrina go to Kenya, that's kind of what we've been promoting
Okay.
right now. So they are well aware of us because we're there every week or every second week. And so we'll be going out in the community as well from 9 until 2 o'clock that day to collect the bottles.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the 31st, we are hosting a celebrity server night at Boston Pizza.
January 31st.
Celebrity
Yes,
server.
it's a Wednesday.
Celebrity server. They're going to be
Yes.
the ones
At Boston
bringing
Pizza?
your menu, bringing it out from the kitchen.
Yes. And we're
Really?
going
What celebrities do you have lined up?
so we have Terry Whalen coming in to
Okay.
sing
He's
that
He's a great
night.
guy.
Yeah, and so we're still working on other people to come in, but we will be there serving. We're going to have 50-50. We're going to have
Great
cake.
idea.
And 10% of the proceeds that night, excluding alcohol, will be donated
Wonderful
to
idea.
our
From
Fabulous.
6 to 9.
yes.
6
from
to
6,
9
okay.
on January 31st at
What
Boston
night is that? Is
Pizza.
that a Saturday
It's a
night?
Wednesday
That's
night.
Oh, it is a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's my son's birthday.
It's your son's. He'll be there for sure. You might even be serving him.
Yes, I will, because
You
they're
and
going to
maybe-
go out for supper. It's my boyfriend's father's birthday too, so they're
Oh, I haven't
And
seen
they're planning that they're going to be their location. and
that's
have
where they're
that
going
done.
to eat.
I think you should get Brad Pitt to serve, or one of those
Some
celebrities.
Timberwolves?
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
Timberwolves
maybe
if
the
they're
captain of
not
the
playing.
Timberwolf team or something like that.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah,
guys available?
Oh yeah, we're so
I'll check my schedule. The 31st. I just have to check to see if I'm not
I
already
think I'm
booked.
okay. I don't know if I'm a celebrity or not, but it's really funny that it's. I'm just going to throw this in real quick that you really don't realize that this show is provincial. I mean, obviously we do, and it goes beyond like it's every province.
We're
It's easy.
international.
So
They
I
can
mean,
watch us.
yeah.
You can
As soon
as
watch
someone
us in
shares.
Kenya if
So
you
I'll
get
be, yeah,
YouTube
so
us.
I'll be in Moncton and don't realize that those people in Moncton are trying to figure out that they think they know me. I'm like, I don't. How do they know me? But it's from the show.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is wonderful.
I used to get creeped out being at a gym or at the grocery store and things like that because they'll stare and I'm like, I get flabbergasted because I'm just like, I panic because I'm like, I can't remember their name. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, maybe
don't know
I
them.
don't know them. They know me, but I don't know
That's
them. And
right.
so then I relax. It's not so.
You're in their living room.
Exactly. That's just it.
So people can go at, so if they attend the lunch or dinner, if they want to go at 6 o'clock on Boston Pizza, fundraiser night,
Okay.
whatever they buy for a meal, 10% of that will go to your fundraiser.
That's correct.
That's important. So let's get the word out to go and support Boston
Yes,
Pizza.
come to
Yes,
Boston
on
Pizza,
January 31st.
January 31st.
Good food.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
So you've got the bottle drive, you've got the dinner, and what is your exact date that you're leaving? I'm assuming there might be another little-
March 3rd.
March 3rd. Oh,
Yes.
right at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we also have a lottery tree on the go.
Okay.
So it's $100 worth of scratch tickets.
Okay.
And so we're having tickets, and so we will draw that on the 2nd. of
So how do
March.
people
Just before you go.
participate in that? Where's this lottery tree? Or how do you get the
So
word
we'll
out?
have tickets, and so we also have a Facebook page.
Okay.
So it's Help Sylvia and Sabrina Go to Kenya.
All right.
And so we have all updates on there with everything that's kind of going on with
What's
us.
happening, your
Yeah,
events
how
that are
to-
happening, and how the
We also post
preparations work.
surprises, like we do the 50-50s, we do it live on our Facebook page.
People love 50-50s.
Yes.
They really do. I
I'm
think
like, I'm gonna have to look up the Facebook page. What did we say? what are we calling it? It's Facebook, right?
Help Sylvia and Sabrina go to Kenya.
Let's see.
It's
I'll
catchy
do that.
too.
I'll do that while you guys help.
And then they also have a GoFundMe page as
Yes.
well. Where you
Oh,
can,
look,
like,
right there. Sylvia and
support them.
Sabrina go to Kenya.
And GoFundMe page as well.
Yes.
So join
Awesome.
that page.
Yeah.
So what's your T-shirt? Is this specific to this occasion, or?
Well, this is our Transform MB T-shirts that we wear throughout our service days college-wide. So, you know, we have 2 college service days every academic year where our students and staff are out connecting with community partners, and you know, because we just really believe that, you know, everybody has an opportunity to transform a life in a community by just, you know, it doesn't have to have a title. Everybody has something that they can give back.
That's exactly right.
And so we wanted to wear it today just so that everybody knew that we were with NBCC and
Be
this
more
is
visible.
what we're
For
doing.
sure.
Yeah. And also as a thank you, because again, and I know you're province-wide, is we have so many awesome community partners and folks that we work with and nonprofits that we work with that if it wasn't for them welcoming our students and staff to come and help through service days and volunteering, then they wouldn't have the opportunity to network and build these confidence and skills that will ultimately help our students when they graduate personally and professionally, and ultimately help shape our province
Nice.
as well. So,
Well, I'm strong into volunteering, so I
Yes,
can
you are.
certainly respect what you're doing and the hard work it takes. But it's so rewarding to know that these things can happen because you're pitching in on a volunteer basis and doing it for the love of what you're doing.
that's right.
Now, is there a goal as far as how much you need to raise in order to be able to?
Our goal is 10,000 to cover expenses on the trip, vaccinations,
Oh, yes.
passports, and all that.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
decided to work together where it's only the 2 of us going,
Yeah,
so it
and
made
we're
it
in-
easier, so it's 10,000.
And we're in the same class, so it makes it
That's right. It makes it a
easier
little
to-
easier because you see each other every day. Now, as far as businesses go and being part of your, escapes me already, the thing that you guys
service
do.
day?
Yes.
Yeah.
How does a business get in contact with you as far as wanting to be a part of that, or requesting you to come volunteer with them, or do you seek out them?
Yeah,
those
so we work
businesses?
more with charities and non-for-profits
Charities,
for
okay,
the service
okay.
day, and here in Miramichi, you know, the communities just really work with our local staff,
Oh,
and
yeah, we have
it's
lots.
incredible.
Awesome
Like it's a
people.
sea of green here in Miramichi. for
It
the,
is.
the service day, and then throughout the province, again, they can call us at NBCC and just ask for myself through the Robertson Institute, and we're happy to take that information and provide those linkages.
if that organization is looking for volunteers
Yeah.
for specific events, you guys are the ones to call.
Yeah, that's right. We're happy to help, and we want to know how we can help too. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Just a question, do you have people attending NBCC that you know from Kenya? They come from all over the world to come here.
I never met anybody.
No?
No, not yet.
And we're in the St. Michael's building, so we, in one way, we're kind of excluded from the rest.
The
Not
main
really
right.
excluded,
Like
just
when we,
we don't
we
see
go over at
everybody.
lunchtime
Yeah.
and we see them and stuff at lunchtime on their campus and stuff,
Mhm.
but
I know
our
we've-
classes are over in the other building, so
Right.
yeah.
Any apprehensions about going to Kenya?
Well, I was
I'm
going to go there. but-
nervous.
You're nervous.
I'm really nervous.
What are you most
but
nervous about, Sabrina?
it's so far, and the furthest I've went is Florida. you know,
Okay, so you're not you
I'm-
don't travel
You've never been over the
extensively.
water, in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, Florida,
yeah.
not
So
too
I'm
bad.
nervous about that, but
But you're
Yeah,
getting
it's
your
gonna be-
needles, and you're going to be with great company,
Yeah.
and you have to think of all the positive things.
Yeah, and
focus
that's what
That
I
on
will
keep
them.
come
thinking
from
about
it.
all the
Yeah,
positive.
I can remember traveling just recently with my kids and my husband, and seeing those volunteers with everything they've got packed because they're bringing things to these different countries and things like that. But in today's times, unfortunately, we do have to think about those issues of flying to foreign countries and different things like that. So what are you doing to keep our girls safe?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to partner with We Charity
Okay.
because they have 21 years of experience
Right.
in doing this.
Yes.
So they have a full team of folks, and that's their job is safety.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they're monitoring the flights, they're monitoring the countries. If
Okay.
anything happens, there's a fast action report.
There is.
that's
There's
good.
a plan
They-
in place.
And if
okay?
there's anything while we're in country or on way country, they've
Okay.
got all of our
We
contact
wanna-
information, and they can reach out.
gonna be great.
Unfortunately, that's it. That's all we have time for today. We want to thank you guys for joining us, Amanda, Sylvia, and Sabrina.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you for
having
watching
us.
us here at Have a Chat. We'll see you again next week.